Good morning. It is past 11 o'clock, which means that we now have pressure in our lines, and I am going on a walk to turn on some irrigation lines or some irrigation systems that can work on their own while I do something else. So this has sprinklers. I will not turn them on just yet, that is for later, because one behind me, behind the chicken coop, is doing manual irrigation for the place there, and I can steal him a little bit of pressure by turning on this thing here, which will irrigate the vetiver here around the platform. It does need a little bit of irrigation because, as you can see, the leaves are hanging and they are bent, and that means it lacks water. It will not die, but it definitely lacks water. So now that this is working, I will go over there and turn something on and also show you what we did. So in here we did plant some vetiver, and that puddle over there is from when this line here disconnected. There are frogs in there, there's life. So when this disconnected, then it filled up that hole. But here we have some vetiver slips all around the sperm here, where you can see the black water line, the lower one. That is where we have the vetiver in all the different places. So there you can see it. Juan has harvested a bit more vetiver, and in a couple of days we will then plant the upper line also. And this will continue. But this is a good thing because it helps those trees here, so that they definitely have a lot more moisture. Oh, I see. See, if this were an orchard, then definitely we would do some maintenance. But for the moment, I think we just let it grow and focus on the more important things. Given our reduced capacity, Juan and I are alone here, and I also need to do other things. So I cannot work out in the field the whole day. I can help a little bit. So we just let it grow and do a little bit of maintenance when autumn comes. And over time, this will then definitely become a food forest and not a wannabe anymore. Note also that some of the trees that were presumed dead are actually coming back to life. So it's a good idea not to be that proactive, because you never know. So these trees we did not lose, so that's a good thing. So now that I'm here and talking, let me open this here. So this is a little bit broken, and I have some ideas to improve it. So I need to do it this way. And I will only open the lower one, so this one here, where the vetiver is actually planted. That should be enough and give enough pressure for other places. So the plan here is to put a shut-off valve before all the connections for drip lines, so that we have a drip irrigation system that we can turn on and off, and these are not meant to be manipulated daily. That is what happened in the past, and we will not do this going forward. The other thing that I can mention, and I hope the wind will not ruin this clip now, because there are a lot of strong thermals going off. The guys from Life Terra was here today. They were here, and we have a gentleman agreement that we will plant a Miyawaki forest in November. So there's a few things that are necessary in the background, especially on their end. And on our end, we need to prepare the site. And that is what is going to happen the months prior, so in October. Basically, we have to get a BCS tractor. I think that it's the best idea. And use this machine to create a chessboard pattern like thing made of little trenches, and they will intersect, and at each intersection there will be a tree later on. And of course the irrigation will also be part of it. As I mentioned, we will do an experiment with these Senegal wobblers, so that we don't have the struggle that I, as I'm the watering guy, have here. It is very hard to keep up with the watering if you do this in the hose. So definitely this is going to be very helpful. The experiment will happen over there in a clear spot where we can focus on the system and don't have to irrigate anything for real. So this is just for the test. And then we will install that system, or the variant of that system, down there in A7 where the Miyawaki forest is going to be. The guys also were very impressed with our palovnia trees, and I actually need to go up there to show you how pruning by animals works with these palovnia trees. It's very impressive. I did not take the camera with me because they are not allowed to be filmed unless there is an agreement about social media and so on. Understandable. So I left the camera in the house, but I will go there tomorrow to film a little bit for you and show you how pruned palovnia trees, if you do this in the wild by means of the bovines, actually look like. It's a very pretty sight, so definitely it's something very positive. And over there, that little patch is also working out well. It gets water every day. So there are a lot of positive things, and we are now in the afternoon, which means it is cooler. It's not really cool, it's still very hot, but the wind definitely helps. And our vetiver over there is also growing well. We added an additional water line a couple days back, have not used it yet, but that is to help it along. So no complaints of any kind. Things work great, and there was even a harvest. So what else can one ask for? And speaking about a harvest, so this also is a harvest. It's a little bit of work to peel them out, but the moment when they look like this, yeah, here dry, that is then the time. And I have been doing this, and in the house we have been peeling them. That works. If anyone has any suggestion how to do this with some sort of a machine or whatever, maybe something exists, because the things that you buy in the store, they are probably not peeled by hand. So there must be something. Would be interesting to know. Of course not for this amount here, but yeah. And by the way, this is an okra of the green variety. Was in the same seed bag. Probably get processed on the same place, or at the same place, the same line. Supposedly will taste the very same. We will see. And of course, this is not so much about gardening, but I can show you. So there's also something new coming up. In a few weeks, one can see what that really is. Of course, I know what I seeded, but I'll show you this again when there's something more interesting. What I definitely can recommend, this is the other thing, is this Thai basil here. If you are into some Asian food, then definitely this is a very, very high recommendation. So we pick it, including the flowers, they are edible, and we chop it, and then it gets put into a Thai curry. And that is very delicious. So the lazy gardener just went out for a harvest, and see what the lazy gardener found. There is a bunch of okra. Let me take you to a place with a little bit better light. So here there is a bunch of okra and some broccoli, and let me show you where the okra came from. You can probably already guess it when I said the lazy gardener. So here in this patch of Bermuda grass and okra, I harvested quite a few okra, and this is working well. As you can see, the okra there is definitely on top of all the grasses, and also here I was able to harvest a little bit. There are more coming, and this is definitely a thing that you can do. So it is working out as I expected, so that's very good. This one here is the naughtiest one of all the group, with the split ear, because Oliver thinks he is a very big dog. He is the smallest, he's half the size. But he is definitely very fierce.